Hey guys, welcome to our 2021 Toyota Highlander Hybrid All-Wheel Drive Limited. This is our new family car. Well, it's actually not that new. It's got about 20,000 miles on it. It used to be a press car from Toyota, and we bought it from Toyota. Got a pretty good deal on it, actually. We replaced our Mazda CX-30 with this Highlander back in May of this year, and this is how long it's taken me to film a video on it, mostly because this is my wife's daily driver, and she has it all the time. So I've cleaned it up for us today. Let's walk you around it. We'll show you what it looks like inside and out. We'll talk about what it's been like to own for the last 9,000 miles or so. And yeah, let's get started. We'll start on the outside here. So like I said, this is a limited hybrid all-wheel drive. MSRP on this was about $49,000 as spec'd with a couple options. It's about a little over 50 grand. We paid $39,000 for it with 10,000 miles on it. Paint was a little bit rough. There's some acid damage on the hood. And you know, it lived a hard life. It was a press car in the first 10,000 miles. But I figured if you're gonna buy a press car that's had somewhat of a difficult life, might as well just get a Toyota Highlander, because chances are that probably hasn't been abused as much as, for example, a Toyota Supra or something like that. So we've done a couple modifications to this Highlander. First one is I added a tow hitch. I put my mountain bike on the back of this a couple times a week, go mountain biking, and that was a necessity. I believe it's just a Curt hitch, a couple $100 online, not the Toyota hitch that is in the cutout of the bumper right here. That was just way too expensive of a proposition to consider, and this just works great. The other thing is this originally came with 20-inch alloy wheels. I swapped those out immediately as soon as I could possibly find a set of 18s with taller sidewalls. These are Bridgestone Alenza AS Ultra tires in, let's see, what's the sizing here? 235/65 R18. Way more sidewall than the 20s, and the standard wheel size for the Toyota Highlander XLE, XSE, all those lower trim models. Much more pothole friendly on our rough and bumpy Michigan roads. The primary reason for buying this Highlander was that our Mazda CX-30 just couldn't fit our child seat, our rearward-facing child seat in the back, as easily as we would have liked. Needed a little bit more room for road trips, place to put the dog, place to put our son's stuff, suitcases, and the CX-30 was just barely cutting it. It was a little bit tight, if I'm being honest. One of the big reasons why we got the CX-30 was because it could fit in our old garage. There's no way this Toyota Highlander would have fit in our old garage, so this wasn't an option in our old house. We do get a spare tire, a little bit of a repair kit. We've got this little cargo cover right here. Of course, third row seating, which I'm sure we'll be using at some point someday. We have a compact spare tire under there, 8 inches of ground clearance. This kind of replaced both the Mazda CX-30 and my 2006 Toyota 4Runner. Way more fuel efficient. We've got a pretty nice interior in this Highlander Limited. We have rear sunshades, which is really nice for our son. Plenty of room in the back to fit our child seat. Rear climate control with all sorts of vents to aim at passengers and occupants, keep the back seats cool. We don't get heated or ventilated rear seats, but otherwise it's pretty comfy and cozy back here. I do really like this multi-tone interior. The light seats keep everything cool, and I think they look pretty good too. Fuel economy is rated for 34 miles to the gallon on the highway, 35 in the city. We've been seeing about 28 mpg in the winter and about 32 mpg combined in the summer months. But on a road trip recently, we hit 36 miles to the gallon, which is pretty impressive. One of our first complaints when we got this Highlander was this touchscreen. Just a little bit more complicated than the base touchscreen. It adds the second element here, the second page, where you can see a multitude of different screens, from your climate to your music to fuel economy history and other information. It's very high gloss. The XSE, the XLE screens are matte, and this makes it a little bit more difficult to see on sunny days. We've gotten used to it over time, and I did actually get a screen protector that is matte. I haven't installed it yet, but that might help a little bit with that. We have heated and ventilated seats up front, a heated steering wheel, which is a really useful feature in the wintertime, 360 camera, 3 different drive modes. We've pretty much exclusively left this in eco mode the whole time we've owned it. Wireless charging right here, which we've also never used. Cup holders are in a nice spot out of the way. You can fit tall bottles here, no problem. Place to put our sunglasses, spy on our sun in the back. Sunroof, again, something we don't really open up very much. Lots of storage, plenty of places to put things in this interior. We also get the JBL sound system in this limited hybrid. It sounds great, really bumps. Some really nice features in this Highlander. We've really enjoyed a few of the extra luxurious elements. And of course, the space is fantastic. All right, let's take this for a drive and talk about what it's been like to live with the last year or so. So first of all, just driving this around town is such a joy. Regular errands downtown, to the grocery store, to the gas station and back, to the mountain bike trail just a few miles away. I come back, I turn off the car, and my fuel economy readout tells me that I averaged about 37, 38 miles to the gallon, sometimes in the 40s, which is super impressive. So it's actually been really fun hypermiling this Highlander hybrid in the time that I've driven it. My wife, however, she's got a lead foot, so she drives everywhere pretty quickly. But even with her driving style, she's been able to average about 32 miles to the gallon in the summer and about 28 in the winter. Fuel economy in the winter isn't as good. Batteries get a little bit cold, and with cold starts, it uses a little bit more fuel. And also with winter blend, it's not as fuel efficient of a burn. So just all things to consider with winter driving. Power has been ample. This 2.5 liter is a little bit loud and gruff under heavy acceleration, but when you're just cruising around normally, it's okay. It's amazing to be able to drive a vehicle this size that gets the gas mileage and the fuel economy that it can. Love the fuel range that we've been able to achieve in this Highlander hybrid, 400-500 miles per tank. Our CX-30 was under 300 miles per tank, and that was getting a little bit tedious filling up once or twice a week for my wife. So this is much better, big improvement. CarPlay integration seems to work really well. No wireless in this Highlander hybrid, unfortunately. Overall, pretty happy with how this drives. Pretty much just feels like a big Prius. In the winter and the snow, it did pretty well on the stock 20-inch Bridgestone Alenzas. These 18-inch Alenza AS Ultras will do incredibly well in the snow. Just shy of a dedicated winter. I tested these at the Acura Bridgestone winter driving experience back in the winter time, and I was really impressed with their snow capability. So once we get some winter driving conditions out here in Michigan, we'll do another test and show you guys what these tires are capable of. But on normal everyday driving situations, they're comfortable, they're quiet, they've got great traction in the rain. Their wet performance is actually pretty incredible. And the 18-inch size compared to the 20-inch size added a lot more ride comfort. Steering lightened up a little bit too, because the sidewall wasn't as blocky as the 20-inch wheels. And I've actually really enjoyed these 18s. It's been a really nice upgrade. Also picked up about an MPG over the 20s, a little bit lighter weight of a setup, and a little bit more aerodynamic and lower rolling resistance, which has been cool. One of my few complaints about the Highlander is that it's just a little bit rattly in here. Back seat seems to jiggle around quite a bit. Part of that could be our car seat mount and just some other things we have in the back, but it's just a little bit noisier in here than I would like. But overall, it all kind of blends into the road and wind noise once you're on the highway, so it's not a huge deal day to day. Just something that I notice. Plenty of power. Love the instantaneous response from this powertrain. The CVT, again, just a typical Toyota CVT with a planetary gear set and hybrid powertrain. All-wheel drive system works great too in the winter. I appreciate that you can actually turn everything off and whip a couple donuts in this thing, which is fun. Adaptive cruise control works pretty well. Nothing too special with Toyotas these days. We do have lane keep assist. It's nice in a pinch if you need to take your eyes off the road for a couple seconds, make an adjustment, climate control or something like that. easy to engage and disengage. I have really enjoyed using this adaptive cruise and lane keep assist system on road trips. For short journeys, I found these seats to be great. For longer road trips, I've had a couple issues with my back. I haven't found them to be as comfortable as my Lexus GX was. But overall, they seem to do fine. It handles like a large crossover that weighs 4,600 pounds. Nothing exceptional there. It feels a little bit heavy, a little bit cumbersome, kind of lumbers down the road. Brake pedal feels good though, easy to modulate, and super easy to drive smoothly and kind of hypermile and stay in that EV mode as long as possible. This new Highlander was kind of the first vehicle that I drove from Toyota that was part of their new next generation of products when it came out in 2020, and I was really impressed with the way it drove. It felt almost Lexus-like in some ways. It was very comfortable, very luxurious. The materials in here were excellent. Ergonomics were pretty good, and I still maintain that that's part of the appeal of this new Highlander is that it's just really nice. In my mind, there isn't that much of a reason to go for an RX over this for what this offers and how it's priced. Of course, I haven't driven the new RX now that they've just released it, so I may have to change my mind on that when I do get behind the wheel. Lexus is putting out some great products these days. However, the difference between Lexus and Toyota, that line is getting blurred a little bit more than it used to be. Really nice just cruise around in this in full EV mode at lower speeds around town. Under 25, 30 miles per hour. You can pretty much exclusively drive this in EV mode if you have enough power in the battery. All right, well, there's just a quick video and summary of our experience in the Highlander Hybrid. Overall, really enjoyed this car so far. We're going to hold on to this for quite a while. It's kind of perfect for our family, for our needs. I drive this thing occasionally for my own purposes, like taking it mountain biking or to run errands here and there. But for the most part, this is my wife's daily, and for that purpose, it does a really nice job. It's safe, it's practical, and I think it looks pretty good too for what it is. And we got a smoking deal on it, so kind of hard to pass that up too. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know if you have any questions on the Highlander Hybrid. We'll probably do some more videos on this come winter or fall, but until then, I'm going to be focusing on a lot of the press cars that we're getting in. So anyway, I think that's going to be it for this one. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. We'll see you guys later.